Ladies, listen up. Are you or have you gone through menopause, that really weird time warp time where you're like, what is going on? When not only your hormones become depleted, but so do your neurotransmitters. I'm Shelly Joe. Welcome to my show. Here we go. Here we are. Feed your brain, change your life, take control of your brain, body, and emotions. And I am Shelly Joe with Shelly Joe Hypno-Aminos, also known as Amino Acid Lady. It is Wake Up Wednesday with Shelly Joe, and I am so excited to be here. This last weekend, I went and spoke at a conference, which was mostly women. It was all women, except for the husband of the lady that was in charge. It was amazing. It was so amazing. I did breath work for the first time. Wow. If you haven't done breath work, you got to try it. It is an amazing experience. Everybody has a different experience, but I had an experience that was like down deep to the core. Now, I'm not going to share it with you. It was very spiritual. It was very personal. I was telling you, if you have a chance to do breath work, who knew that just breathing, intense breathing, can create a spiritual experience? I didn't know that. It was super cool. And last night, I went up and spoke about an hour away to a group of people about brain, how to feed the brain, body, and emotions. I know I've said this before, but it's like a three-legged stool, right? You've got to have, for a three-legged stool to stand, you've got to have all three legs to be strong: brain, body, and emotions. That's what equals optimal health, right? It creates optimal health. Feed your brain, feed your body, and feed and change your thoughts. Feed your brain with specific brain food, also known as amino acids, specific to the brain. Feed your body with nutrition, especially protein. Protein is non-negotiable. Protein feeds every single part of your body, every cell, because that's what amino acids do. Protein breaks down into amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and amino acids feed every single cell of your body. That's why protein is so important. Now, I tell my clients, I don't care if you eat it or if you drink it. I don't care how you get your protein, as long as you get it. Preferably about 30 grams 3 times a day. And then feed your thoughts through hypnotherapy. It changes your beliefs and limiting beliefs and negative thoughts that are stopping you and holding you back. There may be stories that you don't even know because they were planted into your subconscious before you had a filter to kick them out. So that means between the ages of, before you became about 7 years old, there was no filter there to allow you to filter out whether it was true or not true for you. So we create these fears. We have fears, we have phobias, we have different thoughts and patterns and stories. And how do you know that there is a story? Because you set a goal And then you find yourself sabotaging this goal. Now, I know I've referenced Mel Robbins many times before. I like listening to her. And she talked about the quitting day, the day you quit. And then she said that whenever you start something new that you want to make a change, you're changing these patterns, you're changing the way you do things. The 19th day is called Quitter's Day. And that is a day that people quit whatever they're doing. Because you start out, you're super excited, I can do this. You make it through the first week, right? Stay strong, stay strong, stay strong. And then the second week comes. And you're still strong, but maybe not quite as strong. Or maybe somewhere in this time period, you miss a day. And then you start to think to yourself, is this something I really want in my life? Maybe it is really for your good. Maybe it's for your health, but do I really want to keep doing what I'm doing? And by that third week, you're starting to flounder a little bit. Maybe you miss another day and you're like, well, I've already missed a couple of days. Maybe I don't really want to do this. And you get to that 19th day and you quit. You give up on that goal, that dream, whatever that is. And I thought that's pretty impressive to follow that pattern and how to get around that 19th day so that you can keep moving forward. Keep your goals going, get through whatever that is that's going to stop you on that 19th day. Just think about that as you start that goal. And when you're aware that 19th day is coming up, that's when you start to focus even more. Yes, you may have missed a few days. Yes, you may have missed a lot of days. You can start over. There's nothing wrong with starting over. The only way you're going to quit and you're not going to accomplish your goal is to stop and not continue. But we are human. And humans we're not robots. There's no way to just, to keep, it's very difficult to stay so focused that you continue down the same path every single day. But being aware of that day that comes up, and make sure that you are committed to keeping the change. Now, that's a side note. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about menopause. Because guess what? Every single woman on this planet, if you live long enough, will go through menopause. Guaranteed. You can't plan for it. You can't. It's not like you wake up and say, I'm ready for this to happen. It just starts. And people start differently. Women start at different times. I started, let's see, I'm 60 and a half. And I was like 50. It was like 2017, 2018, which puts me at about 56, 55, 56. Some people are earlier than that. Some people are later. But I can tell you, the first time I had figured out that I was going through menopause, I was sitting in church and I felt like I was on fire from the inside out. All of a sudden, I'm fine. Next thing you know, I am on fire. I am like, what is this? What is going on here? And it didn't last very long. But then I was drenched in sweat. And I'm thinking, all right, who thought this was a good idea? And I go to sleep at night and I'm laying in bed and I love to snuggle and I love to have warm blankets on me and I love the weight of the blankets on me. And next thing I know, I'm laying in there and all of a sudden I'm scrambling to get my feet out. I get like I'm on fire and I'm sweating, I'm drenched, and I'm soaking wet. We thought this was a good idea. Most women start their periods around 12 to 13. Some people are some women, girls are a little bit younger, some are a little bit older. I was closer to 15 when I started. That means most women are going to have their period for at least 40 years, give or take. And then you go through menopause. What? Are you kidding? Every month you have a period and you may have cramping, and this might be a lot of TMI, but you go through this this cycle each month, and then you go through menopause. Okay, that's my rant. Because when I get to heaven, I'm gonna ask, I call him God, my Father, the universe. I'm gonna ask, what was this about? Really? After 40 years of this cycle, and then you can't just turn it off? That would be the best. That would be the coolest, right? But no, go through menopause where you find yourself tired and irritable and maybe more anxious than normal. And we start to gain weight. Where? Here, right in the belly, right? And it's like you don't even have any control over your body anymore. Wow, it's wild. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I am going to tell you what I did instead. When I was going through menopause, I'd go to the doctor. And I was like, I cannot deal with this night sweats and these hot flashes. And so my doctor gave me gabapentin, which is a drug. It's a medication. The reason he gave me gabapentin is because it helps the nerves. It's working to with the nerve endings in the body, and it's supposed to stop the menopause, or not stop the menopause. It's supposed to stop the hot flashes and the night sweats. Well, at the time, I was just getting into amino acids. I was just studying the brain. I was just learning about those really cool neurotransmitters. Now I call them your happy, calm, feel good chemicals, aka also known as serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and endorphins. And I learned about the amino acids that are specific for the brain. 5-HTP, tryptophan, GABA, tyrosine, DLPA, and glutamine. And I thought to myself, okay, if I'm taking gabapentin, why can't I just take GABA? Now, this is menopause according to me. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe. I don't diagnose. This is my own personal experience through that crazy time period called perimenstrual, perimenstrual, no, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And I thought, why not try it? I couldn't find any research anywhere. So, like I said, I'm not stating claim. I'm not telling you that it's going to work for you the same way it works for me. But I started taking GABA, especially at nighttime. And it seemed to reduce my hot flashes in the day and my night sweats at night. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I didn't know why. Didn't understand it, but it helped me. So I'm sharing it with you, okay? Because it helped me. Now, the more I study the neurotransmitters and the more I study amino acids, I ran across something that is even also really cool. As a woman, the hormones that regulate our bodies are estrogen and progesterone, right? Yeah. They play a huge part in our bodies and in our systems. And did you know that estrogen and progesterone help to create serotonin, dopamine, GABA in your body? Did you know that? Now, I've been taking these specific amino acids since I found out about them. That was in 2017. And so I've taken them regularly. I've kind of, if I didn't feel like I needed them, I didn't take them. I took them regularly, and then I would only take them as a maintenance if I felt myself, my brain needing to be fed. And at the same time, I went to the doctor, and he wanted to put me on hormone replacement. And as I weighed the pros and the cons, and I also, this is like I said, hormone, according to me, not a doctor or anything like that, but I really struggled with taking a hormone replacement. Just because of the possible side effects. And I'd hem-ha back and forth, right? Do I need it? Do I not need it? Do I need them? Do I not need them? And every time I'd go in, the doctor would say, okay, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. Based on me, do you feel like I would need them? And, it's a matter of, when you go through menopause, the chances of like osteoporosis becomes stronger. The gaining weight becomes more prevalent, and supposedly the hormone therapy helps to reduce or helps to counteract these. But I'd gone to the doctor and had my bone density checked, and I was actually better than most women my age. And so, well, I did get one. I got my prescription of my hormone therapy. Went to the pharmacist, And I bought it. I bought my prescription. I took it for one day. And for me, it didn't feel right. And I'm not speaking for anybody else, but for me, it did not feel right. Well, what I've learned is that, like I said a little bit earlier ago, progesterone and estrogen help to create the neurotransmitters in your brain. Those chemicals that are in charge of being able to think clearly, to be able to have energy, to be able to sleep, to be able to let go of racing thoughts, to be able to um, have those awesome chemicals, right? And when you go through menopause, estrogen and progesterone stop, right? And estrogen and progesterone help to create serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. Okay. And it's because of those, right? We become low in our neurotransmitters, and we wonder why all of a sudden we can't sleep, why all of a sudden we wake up several times throughout the night, why do I not have any energy, why can't I focus, why am I feeling more anxious or feel more depressed than I did before? Well, we don't have estrogen and progesterone, which means that we're also low in those really cool neurotransmitters. And so by helping to balance the brain with these specific amino acids, it may be able to help you through that crazy time period of perimenstrual, menopause, and postmenopause. I'm 61 years old. I don't take hormone therapy. I do take my amino acids every single day. Because my thought is I know I don't have any more estrogen and I don't have any more progesterone that's being created naturally. But I can help to balance my brain with specific amino acids that help to feed the brain. You know, it's interesting. People will say, well, how do your neurotransmitters become depleted? And there's several different reasons. Sometimes you're born with less of them. So if you're a child or you have a child who is struggling with anxiety or OCD or some ADHD, it may be that they are low in the neurotransmitters may be low. They also become depleted because of diet and toxins and lifestyles and trauma. 60% of people over the age 40, 60% our neurotransmitters have become depleted. There's no rhyme or reason. It just happens. It's just like, you know, we become deficient in either the neurotransmitters or the amino acids that feed the neurotransmitters. And so then we're starving those neurotransmitters. So by feeding the neurotransmitters what the neurotransmitters eat, it helps to raise and balance the brain. So it looks like this. We have this brain, right? And the brain becomes depleted of these really cool chemicals, neurotransmitters, right? So we might get racing thoughts, not be able to sleep at night. We have lack of energy. We have weird weight gain, obsessive thoughts, not being able to focus, not being able to have drive, not being able to have motivation. And maybe you will find yourself crying easier than normal, more emotional, not being able to relax. So stress just seems to keep compounding on top, like, right? When you physically feel it, like it's not that you're not in your stomach, uptight, overstressed, can't calm down, like, whoa, type feeling, right? And wonder what the heck is going on. Well, those are the feelings and the symptoms of those neurotransmitters depleted. And when that happens, the brain says, I don't like this. I want to feel better. Give me something to feel better. It takes you hostage. And maybe maybe it's the sugar that lights up your brain, or the caffeine, or aspartame, or chocolate, or comfort food, or salt. Or maybe it's drugs, legal, illegal, or alcohol, or behaviors. Too much shopping, too much gaming, too much gambling, too much pornography, too much cell phone, right? Too much TV. Because the brain, those things light up, those specific neurotransmitters in the brain. And really what it is the brain is deficient in being fed. Now, sugar, I read this this quote, and it says that taking sugar is like playing with the pinball machine. It lights up every single neurotransmitter in the brain. Bing, 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 right? And the brain says, I like sugar. Give me sugar. It makes it very difficult to not have sugar. But we have these cravings. So then if we feed the brain what the brain really needs, specific amino acids for each of the neurotransmitters, then it helps to balance the brain, which helps to relieve some of those those symptoms and those feelings, which helps to relieve the cravings and those addictions, which helps to balance the brain. It's amazing. What are some other things to help during menopause? Exercise. And it can be simple. Exercise doesn't have to be difficult. For those who are going through menopause, maybe it's just going out and walking. One of the things that, they said, if you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, is to do weight-bearing exercises. Eat a good diet. Eat whole foods. Eat foods that are going to feed the brain. Number one, protein. Protein is non-negotiable. Don't care how or what, but protein is non-negotiable. I heard this quote. This one I'm going to end with. You can't exercise your way out of a bad diet, and you can't eat your way out of no exercise. It's got to be a combination of both, especially in midlife and beyond. And if exercise feels almost impossible, just tell yourself you're going to exercise for 5 minutes. Because once you start, you might find you enjoy it. And if you're not sure which neurotransmitters may be depleted, and you're not sure which amino acids may help, I'm Shelly Jo with Shelly Jo Hypnoaminos, also known as Amino Acid Lady. Check out my website, hypnoaminos.com, or get a hold of me, shellyjo@hypnoaminos.com. Keep smiling. Make it a great day. Life matters. Your life matters. Live boldly. Mwah. Bye.